All right, let's look at homework 3.5, problem number 10. All right, so we want to find the tangent lines, equations of the tangent lines to the ellipse passing through the point 12, 3. All right, so I'm going to call x1, so let x1, y1 be the point of tangency. That just means that it's the point where tangent line touches the ellipse. All right, and there's going to be 2 points. All right, so if you know that, then we can find the slope of the tangent line by, so m is going to be, if you use a slope formula, you can simply do y1 minus 3 over x1 minus 12, right? Because you have 2 points there, right? And another way to do that would be using the derivative. So if you take this equation right here, and then I'm gonna take the derivative of that with respect to x. So we're gonna just take derivative with respect to x. So you will get 2x plus 8y. Then you would have to do a dy over dx, and that's going to be equal to derivative of 36 is 0, right? Then if you solve for dy over dx, so subtract 2x, we get 8y dy over dx is equal to negative 2x, right? Then we can just divide through by 8y, so we get dy over dx is equal to negative 2x over 8y, which is just negative x over 4y, right? So since we're talking about the same slope, so if you plug in x1 and y1, it's going to give you exactly the same as y minus 3 over x1 minus 12. So this has to be equal to negative x1 over 4y1, right? Then I'm going to just multiply through by, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4y1 and also quantity x1 minus 12, so that we don't have to see fraction. So if you do that, you're going to get 4y1 times y1 would be 4y1 squared minus 12y1 is equal to, right, negative x1 squared and minus, it's going to be plus 12x1. Right, so we're going to get that. Right, then what we can do is we can actually move this guy. Let's see, I'm going to move this guy over to the other side and move this guy over to this side, right? So what you get is going to be 4y1 squared plus x1 squared, right? And then this is equal to 12, it's both one x1, this is going to be, this was minus, right? So it's going to be plus y1, right? So we got that. Then what we can do is we know that x1 comma y1 is on this ellipse. So this is going to be equals to 36, because here's the 36. So this is actually equal to 36, right? Then we can just divide these guy through by, let's see, divide through by 12. You get 3 is equal to x1 plus y1. Right, so we got that. And then what we can do is we can put that right back to the ellipse equation so that we can find x1 and y1. Right, so I'm gonna, let's say, solve for x1. So I'm gonna solve for x1, so subtract y1. So x1 is equal to 3 minus y1. Right, and put this guy right back into that ellipse equation. So right, take this guy and then plug it in here. Right, so you would get negative 3 minus y1 squared plus 4y1 squared is equal to 36. Right. If you multiply out, you would get 9 squared, 3 squared would be 9, minus 2 times 3 times y1 is 6y1, and plus y1 squared, and plus 4y1 squared, so it's going to be 5y1 squared is equal to 36. Right? So this is a quadratic equation, so we should be able to solve. So if you clean it up, so it's a 5y1 squared minus 6y1. Then 36 over to the other side, it becomes minus 27 is equal to 0. Alright, then if you factor this out, it's going to be 5y1. Let's say y1. I believe you're going to have, let's see, negative 3 here. And then plus 9. That work. Negative 3 times 9, negative 27. And 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Plus 9 is negative 6. So that would work out. Right? So, which means that we're going to have here y1 is equal to negative 9 over 5, or is equal to 3. Right? So we got that. Then let's compute. So if you want, we want the slope. So if I use say 3. So if you put the 3 here and plug it in here, so we know that x1 is going to be, actually let's do in the right order. So if y1 is negative 9 over 5, so x1 would be 3 minus that, so it's going to be 3 plus 9 over 5. So it's 15 and 24 over 5. Right? Then if y1 is 3, then 3 minus 3, so x1 is going to be 0. Right? Then go back to the slope. Right? The slope is going to be negative x1 over 4y1. So if you plug in 0, so slope is going to be 0. So this will give us slope equal to 0. Right? And if you plug in x1 equals so 24, so this is going to give us m is equal to negative, right, x1 is 24 over 5 over, and 4y1, so 4 times y1 would be negative 36 over 5. So you can cancel negative signs and 5's on the bottom, and 24 and 3, so it's going to be multiple of 12, so it's a 2 and 3. So this is just slope is going to be 2/3. Alright, so we can find equation. Alright, so if the slope is 0, it's going to be, so tangent line number 1 would be y minus 3 is equal to 0. all right, times x minus 12, which is going to be 0 anyway, so it's going to be y equals 3. So this one's y equals 3, right? And tangent line number 2, I'm using the slope 2/3, so it's going to be y minus 3 is equal to 2/3 x minus 12, right? So that's the second tangent line. So let's type it in. All right, so first one is y equals 3, and the second one is 2/3 x minus 12 and plus 3, right? So let's submit for testing. All right, it came back and looks like we got these ones correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.